do understand that people think of negotiations as something very fiddly, something very scary. What if I make a mistake? What if the other party is more experienced and they take advantage of me? Okay, these are really real doubts, fears, very valid. So don't be too afraid. Let's go through some things that you can do so that you can enter negotiations with a little bit more ease and comfort, okay? When you are entering cold, some people do not prepare, they do not tell you what they're going to negotiate simply because they want you to be at a disadvantage. So don't be intimidated by that, okay? You go ahead and ask questions. You ask them a probing question so that in your mind at least you establish what the boundaries are, because this is a business. You do not want to be taken advantage of. And you know what? If people know that you're a careful planner, you gain respect too. So you can do that. Ask some probing questions to set the boundaries in your own mind. Like, for example, are you looking to hire? Is this just an information-seeking meeting? Do you have a budget in mind? You really don't want to go through a lot of work and a lot of trouble and found that you've given a lot away for nothing. It's also good to establish a time frame and not prolong the session, because pressure is not a good partner. One of the negotiation tactics at very high levels is to wear the other person out. I have known of business people who go to a foreign place and you've got 4 days of negotiations, and the first 3 days the host spends entertaining them, wearing them out, taking them to all kinds of places, and negotiating only on the last day. What's that? Pressure. So be very careful that this kind of pressure isn't applied to you. Keep your voice on an even tone and pace, simply because when you speak with an even tone and pace, it actually keeps you balanced. When you're speaking evenly, you feel more calm. When you feel more calm, you can think more clearly. So that's a good tactic for yourself. Now, if the other party makes a ridiculous offer to just see your response, sometimes people want to trip you up and they just want to turn you off balance. So, and you are off balance. You're in your mind, you're thinking, you must be crazy. Do you really expect me to entertain that? So just pause, breathe deeply while you are collecting yourself, and if you decide not to continue with the negotiation, just wait a few minutes, engage in neutral conversation. You could say something like, well, that was not something I was prepared for, so give me some time to think about it. Or you can say legitimately that I really can't make that decision at this time. I need to discuss it with my partner, something like that, and excuse yourself. At all times, if you feel you're at a disadvantage and the other person is stronger and you might give away something you don't want to give away, then feel free to end the conversation politely without giving a committed response, okay? If you have the advantage, now, although it may be very tempting to pressurize the other person, it is not good for business. Because when the other person goes away and thinks that they have been pressurized, that has downgraded the value of your business relationship. So always be gracious when you're at an advantage. Be gracious. Don't make promises you can't keep or break any agreements without a good reason. Sometimes there are good reasons why agreements need to be broken. And you see, when you have this good relationship and you're trusting, then you know that an honest mistake has been made or circumstances really have changed, and then you can enter into renegotiation on a much better frame of mind. So be prepared also to compromise. Now that means you must know well ahead of time what your own bottom lines are, in terms of cost, in terms of manpower, in terms of time frame, and negotiate so that those are not compromised. However, during a negotiation, some other possibility may come up. So don't throw it away. Do entertain it, but again, know your own boundaries and maybe segment what you're talking about and say that you would like to follow up on that. If they want to do it right now, for example, they may be leaving the country and you really need to discuss it, then take down the main points and then follow up in a virtual meeting. Okay? Good luck with your negotiations.